Hi, I'm Bilqis Bahari and you're watching Interview of the Day. I have a famous startup guru with me in today's episode, Bob Dorf. He co-authored the worldwide best-selling book, The Startup Owner's Manual, the step-by-step guide for building a great company. Welcome to the program, Bob.
Thanks, great to be here.
You've co-written the Startup Owner's Manual, the step-by-step guide for building a great company book. What inspires you to write the book?
What inspired me to write the book was another crazy entrepreneur by the name of Steve Blank. His 8th startup was a client of my 7th startup, and he had written a different kind of a book, like an overview of this lean startup methodology. And he needed a full-blown step-by-step process manual. I had written one in my previous company about how to actually do CRM. Steve said, please write this book with me, be my partner, and we'll do it together. And it seemed like a great thing to do and a great opportunity. It turned out we were right.
In one of your talks, you said startup isn't a company at all, but most people would think startup is a company. So what is your definition of startup?
Well, let's start from the definition of a company. A company is a going business with repeatability. In other words, they do something again and again and again. Scalability, it can grow beyond geographies or customer types. And profitability. A startup is basically a band of crazy people in a laboratory trying to build a basis of facts and data that will enable them to launch a company. So just think of it as a startup is a temporary organization trying to get to repeatability and scalability and turn itself into a company.
As a startup expert, do you think there is any difference in ensuring the success of starting a company that sells services and a company that sells products?
Oh, the differences are dramatic, and in fact, most of my successes have been in service businesses. The first difference is that it's much easier to customize a service delivery. If you're a lawyer or an accountant, everything you do is customized all day, every day. And mostly that's true for many kinds of services. What you're doing is largely tailored to each customer's needs. If you and I each hire a maid service, I want my kitchen spotless. You prefer to have your office spotless and worry less about the kitchen. That also is the presenting problem because it's much harder to scale a service business than it is, say, a software business. Once I develop the software and code it, I can make an unlimited number of copies with chimpanzees. When I build a great accounting firm, I need more great accountants and more and more and more. And so they're very, very different in nature, in profitability, and in scalability.
Customer development is important for the success of startups. What is your advice for Kazakh startups to build their customer development?
Well, I would first say that customer development is more than important. It is central to the startup's potential for success. And it's sort of very simple, almost etymology. A startup without customers is not a business. And the fundamental difference in this methodology is it starts from figure out what the customers want and build it for them, as opposed to build it and hope you can find customers who want to buy it. And so the most critical first step in building a successful company is solving a serious, painful, expensive, frequent, recurring problem. In other words, playing into or penetrating a big, hungry market that needs what you're doing.
What are your thoughts about the startup development in Kazakhstan?
I'm absolutely amazed at the diversity and ingenuity of some of the startups. They're more more interesting and more technologically advanced than I expected. The biggest challenge they have is the market is very small, and if they're launching in Kazakh, then when they cross the border, they also have to translate everything in addition to translating the culture and figuring out the laws and the marketing and so forth. So it's a real challenge for a Kazakh startup to get big enough to prove itself to attract major investors and go regional or global.
Okay, we've come to the end of our program. Thank you very much, Bob, for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're watching Interview of the Day. Let me remind you that you can also watch the program on our website, kazakh-tv.kz. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.